Carol, Malcolm made reference to it before. Those 2 gold medals that you won in Rio, after the gold medal that you won in London, they got stolen and they got returned.
Yeah.
Did you keep the gun?
I actually asked if I could keep the cash that was in the bag, but they said no.
Oh, he didn't mention the cash.
Yeah, guns, methamphetamines, and cash. The rest weren't mine. No. I'm just a bit worried though, Matthew, because I obviously can't take those medals out of the state because they've obviously been in hands of people handling meth, and I'm sure that the border dogs would get me.
You worked as a detective.
I did, yeah.
So what was it like to see the community's response to trying to help you get those gold medals back?
Oh, it was absolutely amazing. The number of tweets and posts and reposts and the press that jumped on board was incredible. And to be honest, it was just damn luck that they were found. So,
in London, you won the time trial, and you went back to Rio. You defended your gold medal there, and you won gold in the road race as well. How do the 2 experiences compare?
Well, in London, I had to race the men. So, ladies, you can beat the men. Iris has proved it. And so this time I didn't have to race the men. I just raced the women. So the differences were a bit different. I mean, I knew my competitors. I'd been racing against them for the last few years. To be honest, I expected to win the time trial. It was the road race I was a bit, hinky about.
I like that I expected to win the time trial.
Well, I had been unbeaten since 2012, and if I hadn't won the time trial, it would have been very, very devastating. But I got beaten last year at World Champs in the road race, and to be honest, it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because it actually made me come back. I mean, we can only succeed through failure, because we then do things differently. And it made me come back, look at tactics. I'm really crap at tactics, because I always just led from the front. And to be honest, the road race, I did everything completely opposite to what I was used to doing, and that was stay at the back, don't say a word, don't listen to anything. And the amount of yelling at me was, even though I did take a turn, Iris, I did take a turn, but I took one turn and that was it. And the rest of them expected for me to be out front. And it was the last 5.5K where I just decided, this is it, I'll just go.
What comes next?
Don't ask me about Tokyo, please, because I've had that many asks. I don't know where I'll be in 4 years, but next year, and a couple World Cups and World Championships. So it's still on the cards.
Congratulations on all you've achieved this year and next year. Then whatever comes next.
And then whatever comes next. Thank you.
Put your hands together for Carol Cooke. Well, David was brilliant this year at the Paralympics. In the individual pursuit, you broke a Paralympic record over the 3,000 metres riding in a time of 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Collecting the gold medal. For anybody that's tried to ride the individual pursuit, that is outstanding. You were second at the World Championships, but you got it right at the Paralympics. What was the difference?
I don't really know. Suppose I was up against there's some superior at the Rio Paralympics, and I just said in the head of my coach, you could beat him, eat him.
If you get beaten, eat him.
No, you could beat him.
You can beat him.
This time.
You can beat him this time.
Yeah.
And Murray, you were a big part of it alongside him as well.
He's an incredible athlete. As you can see, his performances speak volumes. He struggles to speak. But I've had a lot to do with him. He's a real example of what it can be. A guy from Proserpine, no track, trains out on the roads where there's cattle trucks. I went up to see him one time, and there he was out on this road with these big triples going past him, and there's David out there. And to come down and not only be successful on the road, but on a track as well. He's an incredible athlete, really is.
Can you tell us what he's going to do next? You're helping with the coaching.
David, what do you got planned?
I'm hoping to go to Tokyo. For now, I'm hoping to go to Tokyo.
get another gold medal.
Yeah.
And we'll all be right there behind you.
Thank you.
Put your hands together for David Nicholas, the Para-Cyclist of the Year. Come over here and have a photo. Well done. You want to say thank you?
I just want to say thank you to Peter and my coach Nick for most. Yes, we've had over his stay up because it's a word. Thank you, everybody.
They say behind every good man is a good woman, but in front of every good coach are great athletes. And behind a good coach is a great manager. That's why I've asked Murray to be up here to share this moment with us. All right? I feel extremely humbled to accept this award, which I do so on behalf of all the coaches and support staff associated with the Para High Performance Unit. I think of the paracycling program like a long tandem, with me steering the bike in the right direction and with all the staff and athletes as the stokers, pushing as hard as they can towards success. And that ultimately makes me look good, and that's why I'm standing here tonight. I'm very fortunate to have the extended assistance from a great number of SISAS coaches, respective personal coaches, and several professional coaches who work with our international paracyclists in their daily training environment. And that allows me to, in confidence, to focus on the overall team. It does throw challenges for Murray and I and the other coaches dealing with athletes of varying disabilities, both men and women, across single bike, tandem, trike and hand cycle events. But the single common factor I've seen over all those years as a coach is the same desire in their eyes. And any coaches in this room will know what I'm talking about, right? As I've seen in many of our great champions. Because that's the key point which makes them stand alone as the difference between standing on top of the dais, maybe second, third or fourth. Result is a consequence of performance, and every one of the paracyclists I get to deal with go out with that goal of an optimum performance. And it's the elephant in the room, but whilst there was a really bad situation that could have derailed our Rio performances, I'm extremely proud of how each athlete and staff member individually and cooperatively rallied around each other and to do the very best they could under extraordinary pressure. My greatest thanks and best wishes go to my assistant coach, Tom Scalander. I think a lot of people in the room know him. He's not too well at the moment. It's not life-threatening or anything like that, but it has basically forced on an early retirement, and Tom won't be seeking re-employment with the Para program from the end of this year. It would be really remiss of me if I didn't acknowledge Nick Formosa and Jason Niblett for their professionalism and personal support at Track World Championships and Rio Paralympics. It was a group effort, as I said before, the tandem, the stokers, everyone pushing, the athletes. But Mikey Winter, Will Dickinson as mechanics, Kieran Faulkner, who managed all our classification and sports medicine, Eliza Kwan and Bertie May for the physio and massage therapies. All these people are the real stokers. They drove the thing. The last person I need to acknowledge is my old mate and team manager, Murray Littermore, team manager extraordinaire, with Rio being his last manager's role, or he thinks it is, yeah. Murray, as CA Welfare Officer, took up the role as para-manager in addition to his other CA responsibilities in 2010. Because to be very honest, I was pulling my hair out thinking, how are we going to do this? And to his credit, Murray put his hand up and said, I'll help you, mate. And has proved his worth not only as a manager, but was required on many occasions to utilise his full set of skills with athletes and staff. But if you talk to him later on when you've had a few beers, he'll probably tell you that I was the biggest handful he had. So, thanks, Muz. Okay. All right. And just to finalise and summarise, our paracycling program is made up of a fantastic group of athletes and supporters, and I certainly thank them for their achievements and contributions to that realised this award. So, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.